LeBron James and James Harden are managing armies of gang stalkers through faggotry and are operating as enforcers for the African American Mafia ridden by black gangster rappers which serve Cosa Nostra. They are on a crazy murderous attack on white people because of the recent government mass shooting psyop. These idiotic violent black thugs are racist lying accusers looking for reasons to attack innocent white people, especially white men, because they want to enslave white women for sex trafficking. The African American Mafia is a destructive crime group in the United States operating the defense for La Cosa Nostra. The African American mobsters' primary agenda is owning all white women, and they either influence women to become child-murdering cannibals or control women through prostitution and intimidation. The same way the Moors and Africans invaded Europe and trafficked white women as sex slaves, which is a documented history the education system tries to ignore. They are similar to the Camorra in Italy and operate as a defense for the Italian mob. The Corsican Sicilian Mafia, which is operating in Baltimore and is overseen by corrupt CIA and FBI agents, assist in the trafficking of opium to the Lucchese crime family in New York City, and they provide a portion of it to D-Block, which is a rap group and organized crime group operating out of Yonkers with She-Clouch, Lucchese, Jadakiss, and Styles P as rappers and bosses, and them and their associates then run it to the block gangs in various cities on the East Coast. The Lucchese crime family operate in Yonkers with their Tanglewood boys. D-Block are selling heroin to various block gang sets in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and these block gangs then fight each other for dominance in the cities. They have also expanded nationally. Back in 2005 to 2006 they turned nearly every street in my nearby city into individual gangs, with the most dominant block gang calling itself D-Block. Once the crime increased, the local police brought in the federal agents, which federalized the local police. D-Block has a gang in New Orleans called D-Block. They have their female agents in the New Orleans Port Authority, which is involved in human trafficking, and that is why Jay-Z and Beyoncé were recently given the keys to City of New Orleans. Jadakiss, Styles P, and She-Clouch are currently signed to Jay-Z's Roc Nation. D-Block launders their money at their D-Block car wash and gas located in Yonkers, as well as launder drug and criminal profits through their D-Block records and through mixtapes which are sold on the street and off the books. Businesses like car washes, bars, and strip clubs deal in mostly cash, and this is useful in laundering dirty money. D is for diesel, and D is the most common street term for heroin. D-Block is the largest African American organized crime syndicate in the United States, and it is not even recognized as a criminal organization. The rapper Styles P from D-Block works with the Italian-American gangster rapper Joseph Genovese, whose real name is Genovese, along with his cousin the Italian-American gangster rapper Gestapo. Joseph Genovese is close friends with Styles P and Jadakiss. Joseph Lubrano runs the Lucchese Yonkers division today. The Tanglewood boys of Yonkers deny he is a member, however they said that to protect him. D-Block are probably the highest level black mafia in the United States and are the most powerful mafia organization in the rap industry. As the heads of the black mafia in the United States, She-Clouch represents the Lucchese crime family, Styles P represents the Gambino crime family, and Jadakiss represents the Genovese crime family, and they are the Modern Drug Council formerly headed up by Nicky Barnes. D-Block works with the Yonkers-based rapper Tony Moxberg, who is an Arab mobster. She-Clouch has worked with the Italian-American rapper Shark, who is a high-level made man in the Gambinos. The Diplomats are a Harlem rap group, and them and their Purple City Productions associates are like a continuation of the East Harlem Purple Gang, which was allied with the council. Dipset includes the rappers Cameron, Jim Jones, and Jules Santana. Urban Griff is a Harlem rapper that works with the council and their marijuana trafficking. Cameron worked with Griff in the early 90s along with Big L, who was murdered. Big L was intended to be the head of the council. Frank Lucas was a front man for the Council and Jay-Z is his successor. The Cuban and Puerto Rican rapper Fat Joe, who is from the South Bronx, along with his group Terror Squad, work with the Cuban Marielitos gangs which also operate out of the South Bronx. Members of Terror Squad include the rappers Cuban Link, Triple C's, Prospect, and Armageddon, and they work with the African American Mafia. Some high-level Puerto Rican mobster rappers also include Joel Ortiz, Chris Rivers the son of Big Pun, and Terminology, who works with the Irish Mafia in Boston through Static Selecta, an Irish music producer from the same town as Terminology. Slane is a rapper and actor as well as Irish mobster that works with them, as well as the Irish rapper and mobster Danny Boy in the group La Coca Nostra. Rex is another Boston rapper and member of the African American Mafia. The Alchemist is a rap music producer connected with many East Coast gangster rappers, and he is a white Jewish mobster that works with Paul Rosenberg, a Jewish mobster and record executive, as well as the Jewish Albanian mobster and rapper Action Bronson. Action Bronson is a Jewish Albanian mobster and rapper as well as a boss of some Albanian gangs. The movie American Gangster was about Frank Lucas, and Jay-Z made a music album associated with the movie. D Block are also working with P. Diddy, who they were originally signed to Bad Boy Records. P. Diddy is a front man for the Genovese 116th Uptown crew headed up by Liborio Bellomo. P. Diddy was signed to Andre Harrell's Uptown Records, and today Diddy is worth over $800 million. P. Diddy and the rapper Shyne, who was signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records, were arrested for gun possession and attempted murder. P. Diddy got off on all charges and Shyne did 10 years in prison and took the fall as P. Diddy's patsy. Shyne is still a criminal even though he took the fall for Diddy. Shyne's father is the Prime Minister of Belize. Belize has a lot of street gangs and the drug cartels operate there. The Lucchese crime family supplied opium and heroin to the council, and they still do to this day. Jadakiss, Sheek Louch, and Styles P are known in the council as the Three Wise Guys. They have numerous rappers in their group D Block and work with the producer and criminal Vinny Idol. Members of Wu-Tang and Dipset are members of the modern-day drug council, including Jim Jones, Hell-Rell, Raekwon, and Ghostface Killah as members. Ghostface is a high-level member of the council and has worked with the Italian-American rapper and mobster Shark. Hell-Rell works as Jim Jones' middleman. Other criminal members of Wu-Tang include Method Man and his associate Redman, U-God, GZA, Masta Killa, Inspector Deck, and Capadonna. They are all criminals, and Wu-Tang specializes in prostitution of white women and trafficking of angel dust or PCP. Wu-Tang has dozens of rap and criminal associates connected with the Killa Bees and Wu-Fam. They call mixing marijuana with crack or dust Wu-Bangers. Masta Ace is an associate of Wu-Tang and also a criminal tactician. Killah Priest and Prodigal Son are criminal rappers working closely with Wu-Tang. M.O.P. are a Brooklyn rap duo involved with organized crime. The rapper Kool G Rap is an elder and like a consigliere for the African American Mafia. Kool G Rap is considered to be the first gangster rapper. The rappers Buckshot, Rock, Tech, and Steel are underground Brooklyn rappers involved with organized crime. The rapper Roz is likely a member of the council and he operates in New Jersey and also works with Nas. Nas is a black supremacist and Freemason. Their influence and credibility with street gangs has put them high up within organized crime. D Block are connected with Rough Riders with the psychopath and career criminal DMX, and Cassidy, a Philly rapper, as a former member. DMX, Drag On, and Swizz Beatz also run Rough Rider motorcycle gangs which pose as community clubs. Cassidy and his Larceny family rap group oversee some street gangs' criminal activities in North Philly as a proxy for the Greek Philly mob which operate in North Philly, and they also work with Albanian Mafia associates. Cassidy was tried for murder and got off on time served during his trial. The NBA also works closely with the African American Mafia with players like Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Allen Iverson, and Carmelo Anthony close friends with gangster rappers. Meek Mill is a South Philly rapper with a long criminal history, formerly overseeing some street gangs in his territory as a proxy for the Philly mob. Meek Mill is a convicted criminal. Beanie Sigel is a South Philly rapper formerly signed to Jay-Z's Rockefeller Records and is also overseeing street gangs in the Philly region. Beanie Sigel takes his name to honor the Jewish gangster Bugsy Siegel. The rapper Freeway is an associate of Jay-Z and Beanie Sigel. Freeway and Beanie Sigel are made men in the Philadelphia Black Mafia or Junior Black Mafia, which works with the Philly mob. Sigel works with the rappers Young Chris and Neef Buck or Hanif Muhammad. The Black Philly Mafia is partly Muslim. Jay-Z is the top boss of the AVLN, founded in Chicago, which has moved into New Jersey. The Rockefeller Foundation financed the AVLN, and this is why Jay-Z calls his record company Rockefeller. Jay-Z is working with both the Chicago Outfit and Colombo crime family, which are both owned by the Colonna family of Rome. Wu-Tang are another rap group overseeing organized crime, and they are working with the Five Families and the Cavalcante crime family of New Jersey. RZA, or Robert Fitzgerald Diggs, who lives in New Jersey, is a boss of the AVLN and also works with Asian gangs, the Irish Mafia, and Five Families. RZA is the most evil rapper that I have come across, and he is also a 33rd degree Freemason. RZA works with the Outlaws, a Jersey-based rap group that named themselves after communist dictators. Outlaws was Tupac Shakur's rap group. Many members of Wu-Tang brag about having white sex slaves and prostituting white women. That seems to be the primary objective of the African American Mafia: to kill white men and enslave white women for sex. G-Unit and Mobb Deep operate out of Queens and work with the Five Families and oversee both the Bloods and Crips in New York City. G-Unit is involved with cocaine under Tony Ayo and prostitution under Lloyd Banks. The NBA player Allen Iverson is friends with numerous gangster rappers including 50 Cent, Beanie Sigel, Jadakiss, and Fabolous. Petey Crack is a Philly gangster rapper that works under 50 Cent. 50 Cent oversees both the Bloods and Crips on the East Coast and is extremely dangerous. 50 Cent is friends with Gotti Jr., who is his real boss. The rapper Papoose and his rap group Thug-a-Cat-Iron run a powerful street gang in Brooklyn involved with trafficking weapons and drugs like crack cocaine. Papoose has worked with the Italian-American mobster Shark, whose father Thomas Penny was a heroin trafficker connected with John Gotti and the Five Families. Liborio Bellomo, who is really both a Genovese and Colombo mobster, oversees Papoose. Papoose is also connected with the 5% Nation, an Islamic black supremacist group. Capone and Noriega, also called CNN, are New York rappers and criminal members of the African American Mafia. Lil Wayne is from New Orleans and signed with Cash Money Records along with Birdman, its co-founder. Birdman was charged with possession of a pound of marijuana in 2007. Lil Wayne was charged with criminal possession of a weapon and marijuana and did 1 year in Rikers Island and later was arrested for possession of narcotics for sale. Trina is a female rapper from Florida that works with Lil Wayne, and she is involved in trafficking children. Cash Money Records is a New Orleans crime family proxy overseeing criminal gangs in the New Orleans region. The New Orleans crime family is headed up by Joe Gagliano along with Marcello Family Associates. They run and infiltrate some Louisiana casinos and are involved with criminal trafficking with the Gulf Cartel. The Spanish Bourbons own the Gulf Cartel, and their French cousins the House of Orleans own the New Orleans crime family. BG is another rapper signed to Cash Money and received 14 years for illegal gun possession and witness tampering. Cash Money is also located in Miami, Florida, where the Trafficant crime family operate, and they work with the Gulf Cartel and Cuban Mafia and have associates of the Five Families managing criminal operations. DJ Khaled is a Miami-based music producer connected with Jay-Z's Roc Nation, Terror Squad, and Cash Money. The Mafia in Florida are involved with trafficking large amounts of cocaine. Rick Ross is a high-level Mafia associate and gangster rapper from Florida who has been charged with possession, kidnapping and assault. The rapper Rick Ross takes his name from the drug trafficker Freeway Rick Ross. The rapper Rick Ross is close friends with Chris Paciello, a member of the Italian Mafia who was convicted of murder and now owns clubs and bars in Miami. Rick Ross and Paciello can be seen socializing together frequently. The Italian Theodoli family, which own Magnum Marine in Miami, oversee the Paciello organization. The trafficant crime family oversee the Georgia region as well, with Vincent Lo Scalzo as a top advisor. T.I. is an Atlanta rapper signed to Jay-Z's label. He was convicted of federal weapons charges and recently opened a strip club. The Mafia run most of the strip clubs in the United States and use them for money laundering, prostitution, and drug dealing. Detroit's Black Mafia operate in Georgia. Gangster rappers and their record companies are criminal fronts. They promote crime and then use their associates to provide drugs, weapons, and organized crime skills to the street gangs. La Cosa Nostra is using the Black Mafia as a line of defense, similar to the way the Sicilian Mafia use Camorra and 'Ndrangheta as their defense in Italy. Cannabis is a Jamaican-born rapper in the U.S. that works with the Jamaican posses. Damian Marley is another boss of the Jamaican posses. The Black Mafia family are an African-American Detroit organized crime syndicate involved with the rap industry and have been associated with the rappers Jay-Z, T.I., Young Jeezy, and Fabolous, who worked with the Black Mafia Entertainment's Blue Da Vinci. Fabolous runs a prostitution network. The Black Mafia family are a proxy for the Detroit Partnership. Dr. Dre runs the Crips in Los Angeles and is worth over $800 million. Dr. Dre is pure evil and he works with the Italian Jimmy Iovine, who is an agent of the Gambinos and their Brooklyn faction run by Gotti Jr. and Louis Valario. The rapper The Game is an admitted Blood and he runs the Bloods in Los Angeles. Dr. Dre and The Game are both closely connected with G-Unit, which are involved with the Bloods and Crips on the East Coast. Game is a Blood and his brother, known as Big Face, is a boss of a Blood set. Snoop Dogg is a high-level Crip. Suge Knight is a top boss of the Bloods and also a boss of the Crips. The rappers Necro and Ill Bill are Jewish gangster rappers that work with the African-American Mafia. Vinnie Paz is a well-respected gangster rapper in the U.S. and he is a made man in the Sicilian Mafia. He was born in Sicily. Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Dr. Dre and 50 Cent are top leaders of this criminal group within the rap industry, while members of Wu-Tang and D-Block are top bosses of the African-American Mafia and their street gangs. La Cosa Nostra profits from all these criminal fronts and uses these rappers to manage gangs which operate as their defense. These black mobsters' primary goal is murdering real white men and enslaving white women as sex slaves. The Council was an African-American organized crime syndicate in New York City that controlled the heroin trade in the Harlem area of the city during the 1970s. Formed by Nicky Barnes in 1972, the seven-man organization ran the heroin trade in Harlem, handled local criminal disputes, and solved other issues related to the drug trade. 2. The Council was heavily connected to the Italian-American Mafia in New York City, where Matthew Madonna of the Lucchese crime family supplied the group with raw heroin, which was then diluted and distributed in Harlem. At its peak, Council-manufactured heroin began to be distributed across New York State, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, as far west as Arizona, and even into Canada. 3. Nicky Barnes was sentenced to life imprisonment in 1978, and in 1982 he became a federal informant, with his testimony leading to the dissolution of the Council in 1983. Jadakiss is a top member of the modern Council. D-Block specializes in trafficking heroin. D stands for diesel, a slang term for heroin. When drug dealers sell heroin they almost always call it D. D-Block is the head of the modern drug council. Jadakis works for the Genoveses and Jadakis, Styles P and Chiclouch are overall considered equal with Italian-made men. D-Block is an organized crime group and the largest African-American mafia in the United States even though it is not recognized as criminal organization. There are D-Block street gangs all over the United States and officially known in New Orleans, Louisiana, Hartford, Connecticut, and Fitchburg, Massachusetts. The D-Block gang in Fitchburg was helped into staying out of trouble by the Rough Riders MC Club, which was created by the Rough Riders record company, which was DMX and the Lox's longtime employer. Their D-Block street gangs in New England have been mostly Hispanic. There appears to be D-Block street gangs in Ohio and Michigan as well. In a song with Eminem and D-Block, Eminem says there is a D-Block in every city, and that is basically true. The rapper Chiclouch literally goes to high crime areas and cities and makes connections with local gang members, initiating them into D-Block and provides them with guns and heroin. Next to the exact street in my region where Chiclouch was known to be at, I had a stick-up kid pull a gun from an umbrella and attempt to rob me while I was pumping gas in my car. However, I was armed and I told him I got nothing you want as I gripped my weapon, and he slowly walked backwards to the corner he came from like a coward. Street thugs and gangsters are cowards. Jadakis and these African-American mobsters think they are tough. See how tough they are when they get dragged out of their homes and burned alive or get their heads cut off. That is the only way to deal with thugs and gangsters. End of reading.